We welcome you back as we continue on with our program, and of course this week we have one of the guests joining us from our local South Orange County Community College District. Dr. Frank Meldau joins us today, although he sometimes goes by Mike as well, so you might see him listed as Mike or as Frank.
Correct.
Background in psychology, and you are actually working in the law enforcement field. When we hear a certain suspect is getting a psychiatric evaluation, you're one of the people that performs that responsibility.
Absolutely, that's one of my duties.
Interesting. Well, you got appointed to the college trusteeship. You're actually representing, I guess, the area south of us in Mission Viejo.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
Beautiful Mission Viejo.
Right. Well, let's talk about your most recent meeting. I know a lot of people are interested as to what goes on at those meetings and some of the things the college is dealing with.
Right. I know you were just talking about the Emeritus Institute, and one of the big things that happened at this meeting is that Saddleback College President Dr. Todd Burnett announced that we had received a very substantial gift and of $2.2 million, and a wonderful lady named Dorothy Marie Lowry bequeathed that amount of money to help the educational programs for the Emeritus Institute and other older adult education.
Great, that's great. I know that program is beloved by our residents here in Laguna Woods Village. Some of us recall back when Prop 13 passed, the local school district said, we can't provide adult ed anymore. College stepped up right away and offered those classes, so I know our residents enjoy those classes.
Absolutely, it's very important. Everybody at the board feels that it's really important to maintain the educational opportunities for the older adults, and I know that they just really enjoy it and take advantage of it. We're so proud about that. As you know, I'm sure, we're under a lot of pressure right now because of the financial crunch, and that education is getting hurt in a lot of different ways. But we want to make sure that we maintain the ability for older adults to continue their education, to expand their horizons, and enjoy what they can get from the South Orange County Community College District.
Yeah, it's great. I know a lot of our folks here have taken many of those classes, many offered right here, as we call it, the Laguna Woods Village campus, or surrounding community centers, local churches, a variety of places where they can take those classes. But actually, they can also sign up for classes on campus at Saddleback or Irvine Valley as well.
Absolutely. We have all kinds of classes that they can take, technical classes, regular education classes, self-improvement classes. So there's all kinds of stuff that they can get involved with, as you say, both here and on both of our college campuses at Saddleback and at Irvine Valley. Well,
as you know, education's become an issue in the current presidential election.
Yes, it has.
Going to school has become, to some extent, perhaps a little controversial for some of the candidates at least, but certainly education a very important part of what most of the politicians are stressing these days. I guess a lot of the debate comes about the funding, at what level should it be funded?
Right.
And of course all that discussion impacts you folks. We've heard about the UC system, the state colleges being impacted with budget cuts, reducing the number of students. As they ratchet down that number of students, more students head for the community colleges.
Absolutely, and we're under the same constraints that the University of California and the state college systems are under also. We're having to raise our tuitions, we're having to cut classes, and we're trying to maintain the ability for people to get into the college and take those classes, but it's very hard sometimes.
Right. One of the things that we've always admired over the years, especially with your community colleges here in our area, is the flexibility that you have. Some of the more traditional educational institutions seem kind of set in their ways, and I know so many people today, we have this high unemployment rate. A lot of people, a lot of adults in maybe mid-career are having to forced to make a change, not just a change of jobs, but maybe a change of career. You folks are very flexible at providing the kinds of classes that will help those individuals maybe retrain for a new job and maybe even a whole new career.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, since you mentioned that, my dissertation was on midlife career change.
There you go.
And so I've done a lot of career work. But the community colleges really do a balancing act, because not only are we required to provide technical education, but we have to look at transfer students, we have to look at the adult community. So we do a lot of juggling that the University of California and Cal State systems don't actually have to do. And the board is very concerned about maintaining that balance.
Right. You're also dealing with, as America's involvement in military issues to some extent is winding down right now, we're seeing a lot more returning veterans as well, and they're looking to either find a career or a new career. Some of the educational benefits they can take advantage of, and I know both colleges are very veteran friendly. In fact, even a veteran center. Some of our folks here from some of our local veterans groups have gone down and volunteered. I know at Saddleback at the Veteran Center down there, and you got that new memorial as well to veterans. So you folks are very veteran friendly as well. Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, we just received the Freedoms Foundation at Valley Forge medal for our
the program with working with the veterans in the center.
Yes, the memorial actually.
I see. I understand that was actually designed by the art department, the professors in the art department, and actually built on site down there at the school.
It's a fantastic memorial and really unusual for a community college to do that. But we're so lucky to have the returning veterans as part of our programs because they bring such a wealth of maturity and drive and interest that it's beneficial for everyone. So.
Right, right. And of course, you're also benefiting from what used to be a military facility up in the Tustin area where those big blimp hangars are. You've inherited, I believe it's a helicopter hangar that you currently are using up there, but you've inherited some land in what was the former Tustin helicopter Marine Corps base up there. That's your third campus or your third facility now.
That's right. As a matter of fact, we've just approved the first two buildings on that campus, permanent large buildings. And ATEP is the name of the program, so it's the Advanced Technology Education Program. And we're very excited about that. And both of the colleges have developed plans to use the new buildings and to provide education in a number of different areas. Saddleback College, for example, is focusing more on healthcare and programs to train nursing staff. And I love nurses, and they're so important to our lives. And actually what we're doing is we're improving the way that they can get training using new advances in technology to help them train to be wonderful nurses.
Not that any of us want to be in the hospital any more than we need to be, but anyone that's been in the hospital recently has seen all the computers and all the high-tech equipment that's being utilized. It's not just the caring nature for those nurses and doctors, but it's the technology with all that equipment that helps keep us well and keep us healthy. Obviously, you're talking to a community of people 55 plus, that's so right. Healthcare very important to this community. And I know many of the nurses that we see at Saddleback and at the new facility in Irvine, the Hoag Hospital in Irvine, at Kaiser, as well as a lot of our paramedics, have all been trained through the programs from your colleges.
That's right, and I believe it's really important for the local community to develop and to train nurses from this area. And that's very important, so we're really lucky there. And then at Irvine Valley College, we're focusing on advanced technology. A number of interesting programs are going to be developed at ATEP for advanced technology in all different ways. And I know that I really have to keep up on the advanced technology that's going on now, and this is a great way to do it. And so hopefully the Emeritus Institute and the older adults will also be able to keep up with that stuff.
Right. Well, obviously your work too in the court system and the criminal justice system, so much technology today gets involved in court cases as well. So it's professionally important for you to stay knowledgeable as well.
Right. You were talking about the CSIs just a moment ago. And
exactly. Some of those things, I'm not so sure if the police actually have some of those things yet, but it's always nice to think about the technology available out there. Thank you for joining us on the program today. Continue good success. You've got a run for election in November, I understand.
That's correct.
Well, we'll see your name on the ballot then.
Terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Dr. Mike Meldau is with us today, and again, one of the trustees from the South Orange County Community College District. He represents the Mission Viejo area. And we'll be coming back with more news and more guests after this.